In my opinion, the long-term benefits of what would otherwise be a stupid decision will be far greater. Almost at the all-time high, I sold all of my silver. While we go in, let's talk about the whys in this video. Just a few days ago, during a social function, I decided to give away part of my silver since prices were climbing to near all-time highs. I did it because I believe the long-term benefits will outweigh the short-term loss of value in silver bullion. Seeing $50 silver is quite rare. That much is certain. 3 instances have occurred throughout history. Although it only hit $50 here the other day, technically it has never done so before. So what's the point? Doing it at an all-time high doesn't make sense. Whoever gets it will probably check the price of silver and think, wow, this is crazy. Like the last 2 instances, it will ascend to a higher level before crashing. However, things are different now. You've heard me mention that previously. I learned that I was successful in capturing their interest. That is crucial. You possess an assortment of silver coins. Just so you know, I was at this social function not far from the place where I could redeem my silver. I made the decision to return it by driving home. I agree with that. Therefore, I wanted to convey a strong message to the receiver, which is why I did that. It's about more than just being nice. Knowledge is power, and it's crucial, sure thing. What I did part with, as you can see above, was almost an ounce of silver. It wasn't to a single individual, incidentally. It was also to their loved ones. Tiny tots. I agree with that. So getting people engaged, researching, and looking into silver is really the key. You know, I had a conversation with that person there, and I tried to explain how silver has been a medium of exchange for thousands of years and how its value has fluctuated throughout history. In the end, nevertheless, the goal is to safeguard one's financial assets, real solid capital. I agree with that. National currency. I didn't have time to give them a detailed explanation of what that means, and I definitely didn't direct them to this channel either. Still, I did set some silver coins out for them, and as they examined it, their attention and fascination grew. I also think it will go to the next level when they feel the weight of worth on their hands, given one of the family members' preoccupation with coinage. It has always stood as a symbol of genuine ultimate wealth, even before the United States was created. That much is certain. Interestingly, a silver denarii, roughly the size of a winged Liberty dime, really bought a Roman soldier a day's worth of hard work, or 12 hours. Naturally, compared to today, silver was far more scarce per capita in those days. Therefore, the lesson is practically unchanged. The only change is that the value gap between then and now will vary with the timing of then. While the dollar is doomed to fall, silver can really preserve wealth over time. Its worth will inevitably decline annually. That is the precise outcome. Actually, you can tell me which of these $2 is more valuable just by comparing them. You can see it clearly even if you're not familiar with silver. Among them is a metal one. Silver happens to be that metal. Thus, that is both remarkable and intriguing. If you're looking for a reliable internet silver dealer, I highly recommend Summit Metals. Not only do they have an excellent assortment, but they also offer constitutional silver and provide excellent customer service. Well, you can usually find price charts that indicate the market value of silver coins for sale there. To watch how that changes is, therefore, rather remarkable. However, as time goes on and you come to appreciate these silver coins for what they're worth, there's an intriguing juxtaposition between the little, insubstantial object on your hand and the priceless metal within. Wow, it's just fantastic. The local coin shop actually paid me spot price for it, so I ended up getting it back. You know, even when you top off your stack, it gives you a pleasant feeling to know that you added to the knowledge and interest of others. Sharing knowledge about silver with others is fascinating, and I believe it will be satisfying because people will listen to you and even go out of their way to find more information. Though I rarely dine out, I would like to leave a full tip plus a silver dime or quarter in the server's hand if I were to do so. Also, this is something supplementary that kids will absorb and perhaps learn more about silver and its uses throughout history. As is well known, the price of silver is currently set. The troy ounce, a unit of weight, is used to determine the price. However, there is a range of weights for constitutional silver, not just troy ounces. This is why it's one of the reasons why it's very inexpensive now. You can usually get a good deal if you shop around at the spot price. That is absolutely fascinating to me. If you're not familiar with stacking, It's a cheap entry point into the silver market. Plus, I can assure you that offering someone a silver cent is all it takes to capture their attention. An antique silver dime featuring a design that is no longer common, like the barber with an ancient date. This coin was in circulation during that time in the United States. Thus, the historical component is the other side of this that intrigues me. What was the deal with the minting of this dime in 1916? Can you tell me what the world was like back then? Someone might look it up. They might learn the history of that dime and the possible owners it may have had. Given silver's significance throughout history, this is but one of many astounding features of the metal. During my discussion with them, I did bring up the Roman soldier and the role that silver has had in the development of civilization and society. The expressions of confusion and shock on their faces as I explain it to them and place them in their hands is truly remarkable. Not merely in the sense that it was something I received, rather it is exactly what it is. It is the extraordinary. What makes the pieces so stunning is their design. Looking at some of these more vintage designs is something you can do. The incredible attention to detail and skill that went into these timeless designs depicting Lady Liberty is unmatched. The coin has no history of use. The eagle is soaring aloft. Incredible indeed. The designs are just stunning. To a large extent, what is absent now. Here we have a silver eagle weighing 1 ounce. As far as contemporary depictions of heraldic eagles go, I believe this to be among the best. However, such an occurrence is quite rare. The famous Adolf Wyman design, seen on the Walking Liberty $50, has to be reused. Whatever the case may be, it is still a depiction of the past that pays homage to the past. Therefore, even if you don't intend to present it to the person you're showing it to, let them hold the silver eagle in their hand if you have one. This person actually had it in their palm. They marveled at the sensation of holding something substantial in their hands, the solidity of its feel, and the weight of it. Copper and other common metals pale in comparison to silver's substantiality. It carries that kind of weight. Even though it doesn't cost nearly as much as gold, silver has its own unique quality. I believe it was conveyed during our talk. If I hear anything, I will be quite intrigued. Upon the delivery of the presents and perhaps a little lesson, I may not receive a response from the person. In the end, it's their decision. The only thing we can do is plant silver seeds. Additionally, I believe that doing it has a strong impact. As far as the real spot price of silver at the time is concerned, it wasn't even close to $50 that I had invested. The price of the coins was far lower than that. So I didn't lose anything, and I got a new one right away. And I believe that is money well spent. I think that's a great investment. Therefore, I want to urge you to inform someone whenever you have the opportunity to converse with them. Plus, hand over that spare nickel if you happen to have some. Just give them a rough idea of the cost. Briefly outline the background for them. Their interest will be piqued, I believe. Without a doubt, it will capture their interest. Please let me know if this video piqued your interest. Your being here is truly appreciated, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. In addition, I'd be grateful if you could subscribe, like, comment, and share the video.